Hello, and welcome to another edition of Between the T's, the knowledge sharing program with Texas Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Aaron May. Well, summer is right around the corner, and with it comes the most anticipated time of the year for families, friends, and children of all ages. Yes, it is summer vacation. That means no school, no homework, just good old-fashioned fun in the sun. And you know what's great about this time of year is people love to travel. And travel is something that, my wife and I love to do. It's something our family does a lot. But whether you're traveling or whether you're staying closer to home, there's different ways to do it without spending a lot of money and breaking the bank. So that's the discussion we're going to have today. And with me, once again, is my co-host, Carrie Wilson. Carrie, how are you doing today?
I am doing really well, Aaron. I worked out this morning. I got some Chick-fil-A, some eggs. So I got my I'm telling you, I got one of those bowls.
Yeah.
But I was like, can you not put the chicken in it? I just want some eggs and some hash browns. That's perfect for me. So I feel great.
Carrie, guess what? I got some biology news for you.
Kind of biology news.
Eggs are chickens.
Oh, well, I wanted pre-chickens.
Oh, you wanted pre-chickens?
I wanted the pre-chickens.
Okay, so which came first?
Aaron, I'm not about to play with you today.
All right, we don't have to play all that. But anyway, so Carrie, we're excited to have this conversation about traveling. And to do so, we're going to bring in a fun guest. This lady, I tell you what, when we talked on the phone about this conversation, I was blown away. Yeah. Let me ask you, Carrie, have you ever traveled and did any shopping beforehand to prepare for the trip?
Oh, all the time.
Do you ever try and find deals online?
You know what? That's something I do lack in, honestly, because in my mind, it's save for the trip. You might buy a shirt or some shorts before the trip, and then on the trip, I just try to find the cheapest places to go to. However, I'm interested to know how I can maximize on saving.
Isn't that so cool that there's ways to save a ton of money just by doing a little pre-planning?
Just a little work.
A little bit of work.
Gotta do a little bit of work.
Well, I tell you, Carrie, we have a guest today that's going to rock our worlds. Her name is Kelly Rankin. She is a customer service supervisor with the Treasury Management Department here at Texas Bank and Trust. And not only does she work at one of the best banks in Texas, in my humble opinion, but she's also a very savvy spender and an uncanny knack at finding great deals for her family on vacations. So we're going to introduce Kelly. How are you doing today, Kelly?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah.
It's nice out, so.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Okay, so I know this is going to come out a few weeks after, but did you guys see that solar eclipse a few days ago?
Yes, sir.
This isn't a moment I'm going to be talking about for the rest of my life, honestly. It was so cool. We were expecting extreme cloud cover that day, but right at the moment of totality, the clouds broke. I tell you, seeing God's glory and all of its majesty was amazing. So, Kelly, we are getting ready to go into travel season. Tell me about some of your travel experiences. I know you and your family like to save a lot of money when you go on vacation. How did all that get started?
How it all got started is we went to a certain condo in Florida, and I had a 1-year-old at the time, and so I just fell in love with it. It was very family friendly, and so with going down there, I was just like, there has to be a way to save, and I just started talking to people. You can sit me by a stranger and I'll talk to you and find out all kinds of details about you. So I just started talking to people, and the more and more that I went, I was finding out about like different ways that they save and getting new ideas for my family. So that's how it all got started.
So was saving for travel something you guys have always done, or do you guys plan ahead, like know how much you're planning to spend, or do you guys plan a vacation spot and then try and figure out how much is it going to cost to go there?
So what we'll do is we'll plan a year and ahead of where all we want to go to. And we normally go on one big like family trip. And so with that big family trip, I just normally plan a year in advance and just look up different events. I look up different mom blogs for the kids to find out different places. I will look on the internet for just different coupons for different places to go to see, like, if we find a restaurant that we want to go to, I'll get on Groupon or the website and just see if they're having any specials or deals. So
that's cool. And what's interesting about this, sorry, Carrie, I'm sorry about to cut you off. I just want to make my audience a little more clear on what makes Kelly so super awesome. Whenever Kelly was telling me about this idea she does for travel, I was thinking, okay, maybe you can save a few $100 here and there. Kelly, how much did you save on your most recent trip you guys took?
My most recent trip, we saved over $3,000.
That is outstanding.
That's really
Yes,
good.
sir.
And that's just from working with the condo owners.
Yes, sir. That's
Not
just,
all the other things you save money on.
No, sir. That's from just working with the condo owners. And because I reached out to them directly and I didn't pay them directly, I still went through the Condos Association to pay them just to make sure it was secure because, working in banking, there's a lot of fraud. So
Perks of working at a bank.
Yes. So I just did my due diligence on paying them through a party that was definitely, had the proper insurance.
I actually, I'm really enjoying hearing I'm going to enjoy hearing more of the ways you save money while vacationing. Excuse me. However, I like the first point you actually brought up, starting in advance, planning a year in advance. I feel like that's something a lot of people, myself included, fail to do. We say we want to go on a trip in 6 months. I mean, it's depending on where you want to go.
Yes, sir.
It can really help starting a year in advance. So not only are you saving money, but you're giving yourself time to find the resources you need to save thousands of dollars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's really cool. Because, my wife and I, we like to go on travel too. Sometimes our trips are very unexpected and spontaneous.
Right.
For instance, with how much cloud cover we were supposed to have here in Texas during the eclipse, I, at the last minute, was telling my wife, "Is like, you want to go to Indiana?" I was like, if I have to, last minute, we're making a 14-hour drive to Indiana just to see this eclipse. But
Right.
God worked and the clouds broke and we had clear skies for the eclipse. So I was really happy about that. I didn't have to travel. But we were about to do something last minute. But it's cool when you have a fund set aside for vacation, that you can pull some money from vacation and it won't necessarily affect making your electric bill.
Correct.
But at the same time, those travel, especially last minute travel, can get very, very expensive.
It can.
So planning ahead, that's really cool. The way that you guys do that.
Yes, sir. I just really learned it from my mom. She was a single mom. So just seeing her, like how she would always plan our trips. And, she would tell us, like, this isn't something that we didn't know about. So, when we go on trips that we're going to pack sandwiches and chips and drinks in the car. And she just made it more fun with doing that. But watching her plan things, and when we would go on trips, we would get to do like extra stuff, maybe go and get ice cream after dinner or whatnot, because when she would plan out the trips, we would have like a little itinerary for the day. So we would know everything that we were going to do.
Okay.
And when she was planning it out, she would definitely talk to us and get our input because she was like, not only is this trip for me, but it's also for you too and stuff. So
I know a lot of us in the older millennial time range in our lives, when we were young, there wasn't resources like the internet.
No.
There wasn't resources like Google where you could just say what's happening near me. You had to do some research.
Yes, or get those brochures.
Yeah.
Like order brochures.
The
or
travel
get
brochures,
or go and get a map. Like that was always fun. You would map out your drive there with highlighters or whatnot. And then
That's
when
awesome.
you get there, she would know, like, because somebody else traveled there. So then, she would have an idea of what we would do or how much things would cost. But no, there wasn't no internet or anything like that.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, did your parents save a lot of money on trips like you do? Is that where you learned this knack of looking for the hidden deal?
My mom would, not my dad. My dad would just be like, you live once in a lifetime and I work hard. So, and he would always say like, this is why we don't go and eat out. You know, we will only eat out on Sundays or maybe Fridays or whatnot. But he was a saver. But when we went on trips, it's like money didn't, there wasn't a price tag for it. So.
Right. He's like, I earned it. I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir. Yes.
I'm not even going to lie to you. That's the view I kind of have on vacation, especially if I've saved for a year.
Yeah.
On it. I mean, I don't know. I'm here to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to go to the fanciest restaurant. I'm going to order the most expensive. That's just that's my mentality.
Right.
Of course, I don't want it to cross over into my important funds.
Yeah.
But I'm strictly vacation funds. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I tell you what, this is just hearing that dynamic between your mom and your dad. Your dad is the one who saved for it, and then your mom is the one who made it happen.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And even though they were divorced, because they got divorced when I was 7, they were still best friends.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's probably a weird dynamic for some people because when we would go on vacation, we would still go on vacation as a family.
Really? That's
And,
interesting.
my parents both supported each other and supported us girls, and they wanted us to have a firm foundation like in our faith and just know that they're here for us and that they'll always support us in whatever we do and that you just have to work hard. And they would always tell us, always give glory to God, but work hard and just be thankful for everything that you do have, because if you look at everything on the bright side and just be thankful for all the little things, then when you do want to have a trip or whatever, you'll be able to do it because you've been thankful and, God will bless you.
That's fantastic.
But
Man,
yeah.
we're about to go to a quick commercial break. I want to ask you really quick before we head out, when you started learning these things, was this something that you found was a secret, or is this something that other people can do?
Oh, no. Everybody can do it. So
Everybody can do it.
Yes, sir.
When we get back from our commercial break, we're going to go into the how everyone can do it. So stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Eric, and this is your 60-second 411. It's never too early to start teaching your children to be responsible with money. The sooner we introduce this topic, the easier it will be for them when we expand on it later. A fun way to teach children the value of money is to consider shifting the idea of an allowance to the idea of a commission. As adults, we know money comes in exchange for work or for a product produced. Your kids can understand this too. If you are financially able, assign a price value to certain chores around the house, such as taking out the trash, or mowing the lawn, or raking the leaves. When your kids accomplish these tasks, establish a day each week when they will be paid for their chores. This helps establish the idea that money must be earned, as well as the ability to take pride in completing a task. Additionally, when they use money they earn to buy something they want, it could encourage them to take care of the items because they know how valuable they really are. For more fun money ideas for kids, visit thisismytbt.com and click on the Money Project tab. We hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial. Until next time, this has been your 60-second 411.
All right, we are back from commercial break with our guest, Kelly Rankin. Again, talking about how to save a lot of money when traveling by planning our expenses early. So, Kelly, just as I asked right before we left for commercial, can other people do these same type of savings deals that you do?
Yes, sir.
How did you get started in this? You told me in the commercial break that it started when you were on vacation, that first time when someone told you about this.
Yes, sir. The first time back in 2019 is when I realized that, wow, I can save a lot of money, because person that was staying there thought we lived there because they always saw us the same week as them. And so they thought that we knew that they were staying, like that they rented the place from the owners. And I was like, oh no, because this certain family member would bring all 12 grandchildren and all 5 of his kids down.
Where was this?
Down in Florida.
Okay.
And so I was just talking to him like, man, what all do you do like to save or whatever? And he goes, oh, well, I just reached directly out to the owner and talked to him. And I was like, oh, okay, but how did you know to reach out to the owner and stuff like that? And he goes, I don't know. My wife did some digging and did it. I'm not good with all the technology. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then with that, I just started Googling like just different sites, different stuff on the internet, like seeing what are things to do or saving tips for staying in this part of Florida. And then I got on Groupon as well and saw like, oh, wow, like you can save on different fun activities for the family.
Yeah.
And then I got on Facebook, like social media, and did like, because at that time people were doing hashtags. So I just typed in the hashtag just to see if I could get any like insight to what to do around here and if there was any specials or anything. And so that's how it all got started, is just by doing my research and digging. And then after digging, we started staying at the same condo. And then the second year in 2021 is when I finally reached out to the condo owner.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to reaching out to the condo owner, how long does it take to gain trust and build a rapport with them?
With this certain condo owner, it only took me like 6 months, but I did do an iMovie and show them like, hey, we've been coming here since my little one was back in 2012. We've been coming here ever since then, and just let them know like, I'm a true human. I'm not a spammer on Facebook, because that's how I found them. I found them off Google and then, did digging. And then I was like, let's see if they have Facebook. So they did. So I reached out to them and I was like, I know this may sound crazy, but can we call each other or can I message you? I love your condo and I would like for this to be the place that me and my family come to every year. It's perfect for us. Mm-hmm. And so that's how it was. And just from then on, like they invited me to a group on Facebook to be with the owners, like the condo association owners. And so with that, I learned more how more owners were wanting to do that, because this is like a retirement thing for them now. It's like, oh, if I can get somebody to fill in and rent it the weeks that I'm not there, then this can be a retirement for me.
Absolutely.
So,
talk about thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest keys that we're seeing here is a little bit of legwork.
Yes, sir.
But then a lot of trust.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and I just feel like being vulnerable with somebody, not telling you your whole life story, but just being open with them and having that respect and boundaries in place is good. And I even told her, like, we can be Facebook friends so you know that I'm real and everything. Yeah. And I did even gave her, like, references, because at that time I was living in San Antonio, so I was a part of a lot of nonprofits down there. Mm-hmm. So I gave her references like, hey, these are valuable resources that I go and volunteer at, that they can say, or that I'm on the board for, that they can vouch for me and say that I'm good to my character.
Definitely. So someone else wanted to try and do this, they might be sitting here thinking, wow, that's a lot of work, a lot of back and forth, but what you've experienced, the rewards from it has been beneficial. But when I'm talking about trust, it's not only just it's showing. It comes down to character, really, because something we talk about at Texas Bank and Trust, one of our core values, professionalism and integrity. Yes, if we're going to stay in someone else's place, it's not my property. But if I have a reputation of being clean, if I have a reputation of being courteous and being professional and respectful of other people's property, that goes a long way too. The fact that you'd been going to that same condo for year after year after year, when you finally reached out to them, it was also showing them that, not only you're a real person, but you're a person who, they can see a history of, they've been a good tenant.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah.
And so if someone's wanting to do this on their own, if you don't have enough time to build the legwork, you might use some of your references, as you said. Maybe you can, if you've done Airbnb or something like that, you can show screenshots of some of your Airbnb ratings or something like that, where you've always been clean. People have said that you've been very polite whenever they've talked with you in the past. And so you can use some of those references that you have from other opportunities, just like you did with nonprofits. People can use other references and say, hey, look, I love your location. I've been here before on vacation. I'd love to make this a place we come on a regular basis. Would you be interested in me having a connection with you? And then getting involved in, as you saw, other people are trying to do the same thing, through that Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
So people can actually reach out to these condo owners directly.
Yes, sir.
And what is the benefit of doing that?
So the benefit of reaching out to the condo owners directly is that you cut out the middleman. And with the middleman, like VRBO and different websites, that promote that third-party website, they have a lot of fees with that. And they could have a lot of requirements as well for, like, the cleaners could come every day, or they have to come every day, or the upcharge in the price of the room, of the place that you're staying at. Or you may have to have an insurance policy with that third party as well. And so that just upcharges not the beneficiary, but the client, the condo owner. Yeah. And so with that, whenever you do cut out that third party, the condo owner really likes that because you're putting money into their pocket and you're not giving it to a third source. And so with that, they will want to do extras for you.
And full disclaimer, we're not saying there's anything wrong with any of these third-party sites. A lot of them are great, and they do protect you a lot. My wife and I, when we've traveled, we've used some of these third-party services as well. And, it does give you a guarantee if something doesn't go the way that it should. But, at the same time, once you start building a relationship with the person, then some of those relationships can go beyond the app and the platform.
Yes, sir.
Are you friends with these owners you've connected with? Has it formed?
Yes. So we'll send each other like Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving text, awesome. Or Christmas cards or whatnot. But now they just tell us, they're like, because they're much older than us, but they're like, you're like our great grandkids that we've never got to see or physically meet. Like, I've never physically met them. I've just FaceTimed them and talked to them over the phone and text messages. But it's nice because they will, on the Facebook group, they will post like different things that they're doing with their families or different ideas to do. So it's nice.
That's really cool. I mean, so I just love how you're thinking outside of the box to save money on something that's really expensive for a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
And also something that a lot of people go into debt doing.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, have these principles or kind of lessons you've learned saving money, traveling and everything, have they crossed over into just your regular life when you're not traveling? Like, just on a regular day when you want to get a budget together or you want to go out to the movies, you want to have some entertainment at home. Have these experiences helped with that as well?
Yes, sir. It has. So my husband is an Excel sheet fanatic lover. And so with our budget, everything's on an Excel sheet. So we know exactly where our money is going. Our money doesn't tell it where to go. We tell our money where to go.
Yeah, love that.
So, birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, it's not a surprise. We know when they're coming.
Right.
So you just have to plan for them. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, some things are going to come up, like a flat tire or, maybe a transmission or whatever goes out. But if you will follow by your budget and have something in savings, like an emergency fund or something, or a fund money fund, then just know when those things happen, it's okay because you put this money aside for that.
Definitely.
And so if you want to go out to eat, I've been cooking at home for 2 weeks or whatever, and you want to go out to eat, you have your fund money to do it. And it's not pulling away from your important money for bills and stuff like that.
Because listen, I'm going to be honest, the way you have maneuvered your way through vacation, saving, reaching out to condo owners and just being really creative, you're about to have me going to these restaurants asking for the chef. Can I speak to the chef? Excuse me, sir. So I am who I say I am. Can I work out a deal with you? Is there some sort of deal? I can get some food delivered to the house or something?
That may not work on every level.
Like, I mean, you know.
So we're reaching out to condo owners. We're talking to people. What are some other ways that you've learned how to save money on vacation? Is it just the condo, or do you save money in other ways too?
I save money by figuring out like where we're going to go, first of all. So the place we're going to go, and then the place we're going to stay at is my rule number 2. And then and my rule number 3 is how many nights do we want to cook? You know, cook at home or cook at the condo or go out to eat. So then I just figure out how many nights we want to do that. And then when we're down there, what do we want to do for fun? So 4th number rule is like, okay, what are the fun activities since now we got our housing and food out of the way? What's the fun activities? And so with that, once I figured out about how much I'm going to be cooking at home, then I figure out, well, what meals are we going to be? What meals am I going to have to cook?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I figure out the meat prices. So, or, you know, the meats and the canned vegetables or the vegetable prices down there. Or if there's a farmer's market, what do the prices look like for farmer's market? You know, because if you go to a beach, the fruit will be cheaper because it's tropical and it grows right there versus like corn and green beans, which wouldn't grow there as well as the tropical like fruits and stuff. And so I look at all of that and then I see like, okay, if it's cheaper to buy my meat here in Longview and put it in a cooler on dry ice and take it down there, then that's what I'll do.
Right.
And then for the restaurants, I will look at the restaurants, look at their menu and see, and we normally go to a restaurant that we don't have here in town.
Right.
And so I'll look at the menu and figure out like, what will the kids eat? And then my husband, he doesn't eat cheap. He wants, you know, when we go to the beach, it's like the highest seafood items. So, which is understandable. I'm the same way. So it's all good.
Yeah.
And so I'll look at that and then we'll figure out our menu, like what we would eat at each restaurant. And then also I will see at the restaurants, are there any specials for kids? Like Wednesday night, kids eat free or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So then I look for that as well. And then on events, I will go on like mom blogs and see if they have any free events or things that they post for the kids to do.
Yeah.
And then I'll just Google like what are the events happening in that town.
Yeah.
Or I'll go on Groupon and they will normally say like they'll have different coupons and stuff for different things for the kids or families to do.
I can just hear all of the pens scratching on paper right now, trying to get down all of your rules and all of your notes, because this is fantastic.
Seriously, there's like an entire plan for a vacation.
Yeah.
And it's like when I say that, of course, there should be a plan when you're vacationing. However, there's a plan within the plan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's really cool to hear.
Yeah. And I just feel like if you just go by those rules, then it will be easier for you to plan because you've already got the base work done. Now you're just filling in what you want to do, and just ask your family or friends or whoever you're going with, like get their input as well, because you know, it's always nice to have everybody going, and you want them to enjoy their time as well. And then it also helps if you're going with a group of people that are not your family and they're having to pay you back for stuff. It helps them plan out as well, because then you can tell them like, hey, this needs to be paid by this amount, by this month and date.
Right.
So then it already sets them up on a budget and an IOU type of thing, instead of after the vacation, they have to pay you or something.
Definitely.
So at least you'll be paid for before the vacation, before the trip, and everything will be good.
So I know you like to go to Florida to this one condo location. Do you use these same type of planning tips for any other locations you go to?
Yes, sir. So me and my husband went to Orlando back in February, and I use the same type of like planning. And
did you reach out to those condo owners too?
No, we didn't stay at a condo place. No, we went with his boss and his wife. So
Understood.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
So other things that people can do to save money. I know that there's sometimes people talk about different times of year or different times of the week or stuff like that. It might be good to book flights and stuff like that. Do you guys pay attention to those type of tips as well, and looking for hotel locations if you go into a place that's other than this condo?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So for for flights and everything, you can actually go on different websites and get notification of when flights are going to be at like the lowest price that they see.
Yeah.
And it will be normally like it all depends on where you're going to. If you're going in season, I would definitely recommend looking at flights 6 to 9 months in advance.
Okay.
And then, but if you're going out of season, you can look for 6 to 3 months and you can get some really good deals and just get notification or email sent to you of when flights are going to be at its lowest peak for you to go.
That's cool. So, we're about to go to another commercial break. When we come back, I had 2 more things we wanted us to discuss. First, what if we don't have money to travel for a long vacation or special destination? What else can we do to do something fun with our family that's not going to break the bank? And then second, Carrie mentioned it a little bit earlier, about how does this lifestyle of saving for travel impact saving for other things? So we're going to talk about that when we come back from commercial, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Eric, and this is your 60-second 411. It's never too early to start teaching your children to be responsible with money. The sooner we introduce this topic, the easier it will be for them when we expand on it later. Here's a fun way to introduce money management to your children. You can turn shopping into a scavenger hunt by giving your kids part of the list. As they gather items, let them use a calculator to tally up their purchases. As they get older, you can modify the game by challenging them to find all of the items for the cheapest price possible. This teaches the idea of price and brand comparison. Sometimes a store brand is just as good as the name brand, but for a much cheaper price. For more fun money ideas for kids, visit thisismytbt.com and click on the Money Project tab. We hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial. Until next time, this has been your 60-second 411.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys for sticking with us. We are once again here with Kelly Rankin, our super saver. She's going to talk to us a little bit more about how we can do vacation on a budget, but not just travel. We're going to talk about how to do local events and how to do things if you don't have the money for out of town visits, how you can still make your staycation feel like a great vacation. Kelly, I did have a question for you right before we got started, though. Thinking back on everything we discussed in the last 2 segments, that first time that you went on a vacation after hearing those tips from that guy who told you how you can start saving money, thinking about how you used to travel, because apparently you've been doing it for quite a while,
Sir.
and then hearing these tips and seeing the change, that had to have been a really cool moment.
Yes, sir. It really was. It was like an eye opener for me, and it just made me more eager to want to tell people about what I learned and about what I did, especially after I got to experience it, you know, after planning it out for the first year and got to experience it, and it felt like a true vacation because I was paying for it all in cash. It was all organized. It wasn't like, oh, what are we going to do? Or, oh, well, let's just do this because this is what we got or whatnot. So coming back and just knowing like everything is okay, nothing, you know, is out of place or, you know, it didn't disrupt my life. Or
you're not worried to pay your electric bill because you went on vacation.
Yes, or oh no, if my car goes out, you know, what's going to happen. Right. So it was just really nice to do that. And so then whenever I would start hearing people talk at work, you know, like, oh, I'm going to go on a trip, I'd be like, oh, well, here's what I do when I go on a trip. Have you looked at this or have you, you know, done this? And just like seeing the excitement on their faces to knowing like, you know, they'll be like, oh, Kelly, thank you for telling me that. Like I say money or whatever. It's nice because I hate when people, you know, go on trips and they come back and they're more stressed because they spent too much on a trip. So it just really inspired me to really talk to people about what I do know about money and saving ideas and encourage them. Like, it's just the baby steps that you got to do, and little steps lead to big things.
That's
Oh,
fantastic.
I love that. I love what you just said. Little steps lead to big things.
That is
Yes.
that is a quote
that.
right there. That's a hashtag.
Love that.
So we're going to come back to the next question I'm going to ask you. But before we do, I want to get into our discussion about doing this locally. So, if I'm wanting to do something, I don't necessarily have a massive budget. I mean, saving $3,000 meant you were spending a lot more than $3,000. So if I don't have all of that money to travel and take some large, extravagant trip, what can I do locally, or what can I do on a tighter budget that can still have some memories for my family?
Yes, sir. So, I said Groupon. So, you can go on Groupon or different websites and look for hotels that are happening, that are locally, and see if they have a coupon for a place that maybe if you have small kids, kids love to swim.
Oh, yeah.
Look for a place that has an indoor pool,
Okay.
or if it's in the summer, look for an outdoor pool.
Yeah.
But I would look for that. And then also, if you're like, well, okay, they can swim, but what if they want to go to a movie or watch a movie?
Right.
And so with that, I've learned that you can go into the movie theater and you don't have to buy a ticket to pay to watch a movie. You can just go in and get like popcorn and a drink if you want to, and just go back to the hotel and get you some popcorn. And then Sonic, they have happy hour, or different.
I mean, that's a good combination right there.
Yeah,
That's
or,
A
awesome.
slush and some popcorn.
yeah, slush and popcorn. Different restaurants around town have different happy hours.
I know what I'm
so-
doing tonight. Or probably not tonight, but some night this week, I'm going to go get myself a tub of popcorn.
Friday night?
My daughter loves to watch some cartoons, and we're going to get ourselves a tub of popcorn and watch some cartoons. That's
Yes.
going to
Looney
be
Tunes,
fantastic.
popcorn, and a slush. Sounds
There you
great on
go.
a Friday night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And there's different places around town that if you download the app, you get a coupon. So
Yeah.
you can definitely, score you some points of doing that and make it saving for you.
Personal question. Last night, I received a free medium pizza from Domino's because of the app. Does that count as the strategy?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
You just ate dinner for free. Of course, it's part of the strategy.
I mean, I did pay $3.87. I got some a cup of marinara and some
But that's
Parmesan.
okay.
Well,
but
that's not. I'm sorry you broke it, dude.
it's not $15 though.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yes.
The goal is to not spend the money.
Yeah. You know what? I have to have my marinara and my Parmesan. That's a must.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you got it in the if you got it in the budget, you got it in the budget. So that's great. So in addition to finding a hotel or going out and get movie theater popcorn, which is awesome, and knowing that you can just go get the popcorn and not go to the movie, that's fantastic. I love that idea. That's fantastic. But in addition to that, what else can people do? I know that a lot of people, when they're on vacation, what is the first thing that people search for when they're on vacation? Or you guys do it 6 or 7 months in advance. You go online and you look for things happening in this city.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our local cities are doing that too. So tell us, how can people take advantage of that?
Yeah, so they can Google and see like what are different things happening in the town that they're in.
Yeah.
And also maybe there's in the hotel, they'll always have brochures
Yeah.
of different places and things to do here
Usually
in
within
town.
driving distance. Yeah.
Yes, so that's what I would just recommend, just looking into those. And then whatever you find out in the brochure, maybe go on the website and
Yeah.
see, because if you're at a hotel, they always have free internet. And so, go on there and see if you can, hook you up another deal
Yeah.
with it.
That's fantastic. I always loved getting those brochures when I was a kid. So that's interesting. They're still there.
Yeah.
If
That's something I forgot about. I forgot about looking through the local pamphlets of for visitors.
yeah.
Yes.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, or look at nonprofits in town, because they're always doing something.
Right. So that's also, a lot of nonprofit organizations are doing I know we have an event in town called Touch a Truck every year that it's a local community ministry that does a food pantry and services for people of low income. But one of the ways they raise funds is they do this big event for kids, they bring in fire trucks, buses, military vehicles, helicopters, all sorts of things so that kids can actually go up and hands-on experience, touch these things, meet police officers, firefighters, see demonstrations, all sorts of fun stuff. And it's usually a free event that they just use as a fundraiser to help raise awareness for their ministry. But that's something that's fun, gives kids something to do. All sorts of things like that can be a great way to spend an afternoon.
Yes, sir. And talking about with the fire trucks and police officers, whatever town you're going into, you can always call the non-emergency line and just tell them like, hey, my kids would like to come and tour. I mean, they're always up to show and tell what they have. And you can always stop by and it's free event
awesome.
and it's something
Kelly,
for you and your family.
Dropping all the secrets to what?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So you can go, last week I was going on a tour, not a downtown Longview, and it was just interesting to see how the business owners, they love to tell their story and
That's
how they
awesome.
all work together with
That's
each
awesome.
other.
Okay, you've rendered me speechless. I'm finding things to do on my next staycation.
There you go.
The next staycation I have, I'm calling the non-emergency line.
Yeah.
Hi, I live in Longview. What can I do
Yeah.
for fun?
Yeah.
What are some tours I can take? I need something to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
Didn't
of
know
fire
it.
departments, and I'm a part of a group here in town called Leadership Longview, and we actually got to tour a lot of the different facilities in town, and it's really neat, the different services that we have that a lot of people don't know about. And people can do this with any city they're in. If you're in Dallas or if you're in, Idaho or wherever you end up listening from, if you do this with your family and your local community, there's a lot of things that kids seeing a huge fire truck and seeing someone dress up in the fire outfit and letting them experience that's a fun experience for a kid.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And I just, say like whenever you do these experiences with yourself or with your family or friends, just like ask yourself, like, what was the best part about today?
Yeah.
And what is something I learned from it? Because I just feel like if you do those two things, then it makes you look at the bright side of things instead of it, it was 100 degrees out and I had to do A, B, and C. But when you ask yourself that, then it also makes you learn something new about every opportunity that you get in life as well.
Definitely. So one of the other questions I was going to come back to, I'm coming back to it now. So we've talked about going on vacation, saving a ton of money. We've talked about ways that people can learn secrets of reaching out to condo owners and ways that people can find deals by searching online and planning ahead and even going online, seeing grocery lists and seeing restaurant menus ahead of time. All of those are really cool. But all of this has to come from an understanding of money that has affected more than just one area of your life. It's not like, you save and you spend all of this money on vacation, then you come back to the rest of your life and it's chaos.
Correct.
So there's more to this. That's what I want to ask you. Like, so where did this begin for you? Did going on vacation and understanding how to save for vacation spur an understanding of money that has affected the rest of your life? Or is it that maybe you had a plan of how you spent your money and you figured out how to implement that into vacation?
Yes, sir. So how it really all formed is whenever we did go on vacation, I was always about budgeting, but getting my husband like on board and 110%, on board with it. It was going on that first vacation after the savings and coming back, the first day back at work. And it's like, everything's normal. Like there's no stress. We're not having to worry about nothing. And our kids are excited. Like they're asking, when are we going to go back?
Yeah.
And just knowing just everybody being on board and seeing all the hard work that paid off, then that's when saving up for that first year vacation where, I pointed out like, we saved up and now our rest of our budget money, like the rest of our money just falled into place because we were on a budget how you thought just for a vacation, but really we budgeted out our whole life. And
that's awesome.
Just from that, it was just like, he just got hooked and now he was like, and I would, include him with it. We would talk about it and I was all like, so how would you want to know how to budget and save so you feel like, you're helping out as well. And he was like, Excel sheet. So he's my little Excel sheet, like
That's awesome.
anybody can read it, and we include our kids to let, to teach them like, hey, we tell our money where to go, but this is why we do the stuff that we do on a weekly basis and a daily basis is so we can go and have these fun adventures with our family.
I just love how your savviness on vacation helped bridge the dynamic between you and your husband's spending habits.
Yes. Yeah. Because I was a saver. I've always been like a saver. And he was and he didn't grow up budgeting or knowing how to budget, It's like you get paid, you can pay whatever you need to or whatnot. And so with me saving, it was always like a struggle because he would be like, oh, you're always saving. We can't do nothing. You're always saying no. But then after that first year, it was like a light bulb went off and then he was all for it. And he now is the biggest fan of budgeting and saving and stuff. And he's proud of his Excel sheets. That's why I say it a lot.
That's awesome. So being on the same page with your spouse is absolutely vital when doing this.
Yes, sir. Because I just feel like if you're on the same page with finances, because they say, finances is the number one divorce. I just feel like if you're on the same page with finances, it opens up communication in other areas and it can just bless your marriage or your friendships. Because I feel like even if you are single and your friends ask you like, hey, can you do something? Yeah. And you're like, hey, I can. It just gives you a good foundation and boundary between that friendship if you're able to say no, like, no, I'm not because I don't have the funds, or can you please tell me more in advance about any big trips? And then with that just helps the whole friendship and the dynamic and trust.
That's really cool. Well, Kelly, man, I really appreciate this whole conversation. I just thought that's one last thing. So in addition to saving for vacations, what other areas do you save for? Like, do you guys have like long-term savings plans? Yes,
sir. So like retirement, since we've been married, we've always saved for retirement, but with having 2 kids, we save for their colleges, for their college fund, for whenever they turn 16, they're going to have car and insurance. So I think that in mind, I put that in my mind because I'm like, well, with a boy, insurance is more expensive for him than it will be my daughter. And so I just think about college fund, car fund, insurance fund for them. If they play sports, what will that, if they play sports, they'll need equipment. So, and will this equipment need to be updated yearly, 2 years. So I always keep that in mind. So I have in our budget, we have a space for, sports and then groceries as well. I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm thinking back on how you planned for your vacation. Now I'm starting to wonder, do you know what flavor tapioca pudding you're going to eat in the retirement home?
No.
How old are your kids, by the way?
So I have a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. My 12-year-old is my son, and my 8-year-old is my daughter.
Okay, so you're already in the range of thinking about sports. Okay, that makes total sense. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I can't. You've just given me so much life with.
Yeah. This has been a great conversation. Is there any last words of wisdom you want to share before we wrap up today?
I would just say that anybody can learn how to budget and save, and that your money should never tell you where to go, that you need to tell your money where to go because you're in control of your life and you know what's coming ahead. And so if you'll just save up have emergency fund and just save and just tell your money where to go, you'll always be stressed. You will be less stressed.
That's awesome. Man, thank you guys so much for being with us today. That is all the time we have for this edition of Between the T's. I want to thank Kelly Rankin, Treasury Management Customer Service Supervisor, for being with us again today and sharing her insights on how to vacation on a budget. If you like the content of this program, please consider liking and sharing our episodes with others. If you have an idea for a future show topic, we would love to hear those in the comments below. So let us know what you think about this program. And Just a reminder that Between the T's is a production of Texas Bank and Trust and TBT Studios. Texas Bank and Trust is member FDIC equal housing lender. If you live in one of Texas Bank and Trust markets, we would love for you to be your bank. But if not, we hope that this content is helpful for you no matter where you live. Join us next time as we dive into the world of personal finance again and discuss the world of mortgages. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or buy your forever home, this conversation is one you're not going to want to miss. Until next time, remember that knowledge is power when it is shared between the T's. Thank you guys for joining us.